Hello and welcome to the Westchester Knicks post-game wrap-up. Ian Sacks alongside Antonio Coppola. The Westchester Knicks beating the Erie Bayhawks 100-92. Antonio, the Knicks leading for the majority of the game, but really not a great dominant performance that we've seen them have earlier in this season.
Well, yeah, Ian, I mean, you saw the grit of the Westchester Knicks here tonight. They didn't play their best ball. We kind of saw the same story a month ago when Erie was back in this building and the Knicks had to grind out a 4-point win. So again, they didn't play their best ball offensively. The defense really carried them through the game, but they were able to grind this one out.
We got a lead early, and then it just, however we got that lead, we didn't continue or weren't able to continue doing what we did. And it was, we had to grind it out and just try to make some plays and find a way.
And one player who really stepped up for Westchester in the fourth quarter, Fredette, 8 points in the final 12 minutes to finish with a team-high 19 points. Finding a little flow in the offense was Fredette in those final minutes. Antonio, how nice is it to see him get into that flow?
Well, it's nice to see him get in the flow, especially in the end of the game. But, I mean, the box score doesn't show it, but he really had control of the game throughout. I mean, he was really distributing the ball, as we mentioned before, making his teammates better. We continue to stress that since he's arrived here in Westchester, but that's really what he does. He's made everyone better on the floor. So it might not show in the box score, but he really has contributed mightily to this team.
He has a pretty good feel. He is going to draw a lot of attention every night, and I think he's playing unselfishly. He's, we look at the game, we went down the stretch. He had the decision as we played off that two-man game, and he gave it up.
I mean, that's kind of how I've been doing it lately. Just trying to, like I said, play within the flow of the offense. Pick my spots, and when you get an opportunity to be aggressive and try to, make something happen for yourself or your teammates, whatever it is. There's times to be aggressive, and there's times where you need your teammates to be aggressive, and it's a fine line. I'm trying to find the right way to do it.
One player who contributed a lot in the first half, Vazquez 18 points in the first half of tonight's game. What did you see from Vazquez? Really showing some offensive prowess that we're not used to seeing from Vazquez.
Absolutely, and I mean, let's face it, he really carried the Knicks offense in the first half when they were struggling. They turned the ball over a lot in this game, and he kind of took charge and was able to go on runs himself, really pushing the ball forward, fast break points. A lot of that was courtesy of his play, so it was good to see that. He also had a breakout game earlier this weekend with 26 points, so it's nice to see his offensive game coming around at this time of the year.
They weren't so much aggressive. So I just have to push. I started from the beginning. So push on it, try to have a good game.
Antonio, we mentioned it earlier, Westchester not playing its best basketball tonight. Do you think it was a little bit of a fatigue factor?
Well, I definitely think so. I mean, the back-to-back this past weekend against Maine, up in Maine. Now the game here tonight, 3 games in 4 nights. You definitely saw the fatigue take its toll here tonight, especially in the second half. The Knicks turned the ball over a lot. They couldn't get the offense going. And, I mean, this part of the season, for all D-League teams, it's really a tough stretch. So I think that fatigue definitely played an issue here tonight.
It's the grind that we talk about and we prepare for, and it's a tough stretch right now. So, you sometimes have to just find ways, and maybe it's not pretty and it's not the way it's drawn up, but, throughout the course of a 50-game season, there's going to be some nights where it doesn't go just right. The rhythm gets disrupted, and, you lose the lead and you lose your aggression, and you got to find a way.
Well, the Knicks not really getting much rest as they'll be right back in action Wednesday night as they host the Delaware 87ers. For Antonio Coppola, I'm Ian Sacks signing off from the Westchester County Center.